That sounds like a lefty.
Why do you think I said I agree with Steve Bannon? That rarely happens.
Looks like the ladies of The View apparently were shocked to find themselves agreeing with none other than Steve Bannon, Donald Trump's advisor in his first term, still a friend of his who he talks to regularly. But what could they possibly find common ground on?
I mean, you can find common ground on a lot of things. Like, you know, this is what I mean. Like, I don't mean to burst the bubbles here, right? Like, you can find common ground on many things. Like, maybe, God forbid, there's a child hurt. We need to get this child to the hospital. What are you going to say? Oh, my gosh, you know, if Steve Bannon came and was like, I have my car, let's hurry up and get this child to the hospital because, you know, we're in some rural area and the ambulance is going to take too long to get here. Are you going to be like, well, no, you were Trump's advisor? And I know I picked out a very, an extreme case, but I'm just trying to make the point, like, we must stop doing this, you know? The only people who, we must stop doing this. Anyway, guys, this is Kasparian talking about the ladies of The View. It gets a little weird in the middle, of course, you know. I don't think that Sonny Hostin is agreeing with Steve Bannon on anything, but let's see how it goes.
Well, the panel was actually commenting on Bannon's ongoing feud with Elon Musk. In a recent interview, Bannon went nuclear, as he tends to do, on Musk. So here's what he said. Musk is a parasitic, illegal immigrant. He wants to impose his freak experiments and act as God without any respect for the country's history, values, or traditions. He says that Doge is sitting there with the budget, but where the F are the Doge cuts? We are 30 days away from approving a budget for the entire year with $2 trillion already baked in, and not one penny of anything that Doge found. It's ludicrous. And then he says, it's pretty evident the president's using Musk as an armor-piercing shell that's delivering blunt force trauma against the administrative state.
Okay. And this is the part where, all right, let's see if there's more.
Now, Bannon even went so far as to call Elon Musk an agent of Chinese influence. But for now, Bannon seems to be making his peace with Musk, or at least trying to, even though he...
So it's all fake anyway. So, because I'm like, well, wait a minute. Where's the pushback to this? Because
you can tell President Trump doesn't totally trust the oligarchs. We're putting in very tough antitrust people into the Justice Department and to the alphabet agencies, and they have the on War Room or a huge platform.
Yeah, but if the oligarchs are running stuff, I mean, does it matter who we put in? You know, it's crazy because, like, last year, if you would have said Kash Patel to me, I would have been like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is finally the administration that I wanted. Because Kash Patel was a very integral part in finding the Russia collusion hoax. And the surveillance that they did on Donald Trump, which was unnecessary. I think the deep state it was always deep, but it's thickened since Trump's been gone. So I was really hype about Kash Patel back then because of everything that he did. The situation has gotten worse before the Trumps come back in, and there are certain names that even Bannon is insane. Everybody is scared. It's not doom and gloom, but it's frustrating because these people have audiences and they use the word like oligarch. Well, all right, we could call out Elon Musk, but you know, what about Peter Thiel, Alex Karp? Like, they never say those names. Those are names that need to be said.
Look, I'm not a conservative, right? I'm a Republican because I've registered Republican. I'm really a populist nationalist. So as you see here today, these are working class and middle class people, and they don't want the concentration of power. And by the way, those oligarchs, and people have seen that or understand that, just like they've turned on you now, right? They've abandoned the progressive left. They will abandon us in the same thing. They seek power. Right now, their feeling is they can see the math, and they see that we have a building coalition. Yeah. So they're with us, but only temporarily.
So all of this context in mind, here's The View's full take on this beef between Elon Musk and Steve Bannon.
Now, and before she gets to The View, I feel like she kind of glossed over some very serious things that he said, but maybe after the clip, she'll touch on it. You know, let me give Anna some grace. By the way, guys, I'm not sure if I said it because it's taking me forever to tape. Y'all won't know that because I'm going to edit. But if you have not hit the like and subscribe button, please do so. I would really appreciate it. And the notification bell. And I'm very grateful for every eye that lands on these videos. Thank you.
I hate to say it, but I agree with Steve Bannon on this one, purely because, you know, they're cutting all these programs. They're saying they're going to cut the fat, and they have numbers. Before they ever went in, they said, we want to get $1 trillion out. That's a businessman's approach to a government. And what Bannon stands for, which breaks with Elon Musk, is don't tax overtime, don't tax Social Security, don't tax... Give the money to the people that need it the most.
Who, Bannon says that?
Bannon states.
Wow, that sounds like a lefty.
Why do you think I said I agree with Steve Bannon? That rarely happens. But on this, I do agree with him. Trump ran on helping the people that voted him in. And what he's doing is he's in there now and he's breaking in the corporate greed area, which is I'm going to give tax breaks to people that can afford it more than anyone else. Steve Bannon says it is going to hurt.
I just want to, you know, put your eye on this girl who is not with it at all. I don't understand the need for Sunny Hostin. Matter of fact, I saw a report, and I'll report on it in another video, but The View is facing some serious backlash right now. They thought that they, you know, was able to skate out of, you know, Dodge and kind of, you know, they weren't in the eye of the people who are watching or whatever, the FCC and all that, but they didn't escape. There's reports coming back out that they're looking to get rid of some people. I thought it was over for them too, but I see that it's not.
For all of us, we all got into this together. You need to give the breaks to the lower and the middle class. Stop slashing and helping the top. They don't need more.
It sounds like Bernie Sanders also.
I know. This is when I Bernie out.
So, look, I mean, if I had to pick either person, right, I agree more with Steve Bannon's statements, his rhetoric in regard to the economy. I don't trust Elon Musk, and I don't blame Bannon for telling Republican voters that they should be careful with the tech oligarchs who were Democrats yesterday and seem to be utilizing the Trump administration for their own benefit. But what do you think about the ladies over at The View? You think they're funded by Polymarket?
So a couple of things, guys. There's the Bannon portion of this, which is super interesting. And then there's a reaction to Bannon, which is also interesting. So on Bannon himself, very complicated character. We've talked about his downsides endlessly, including, you know, ripping people off on the fake wall that he was going to build, et cetera. And my God, no one is more anti-immigrant than Steve Bannon is in a way that is, you know, that I massively disagree with. And so, and I disagree with him here when he says that Elon Musk is a parasitic, illegal immigrant. I don't think he's illegal. And so using that kind of language doesn't help at all in relation to immigrants. And I want to be careful and tell you that armor-piercing shell comment that he had about Elon was actually a positive comment. He was saying, on the other hand, he's a armor-piercing shell being used to batter the system, right? And he views that as a positive. And he's trying to have it both ways, criticize him viciously, but then turn around and say, well, I see some of the good. So I'm sure that's why Donald Trump is using him, because he's so smart, because he's trying to curry favor with Trump. And I get the politics of that. Having said all of that, did you notice he said that he was not a conservative?
Yeah.
That was an interesting comment. And he said, I'm a Republican, but only registered that way. So not really a Republican. He said, I'm a populist nationalist.
Yeah, he actually says that a lot. And yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah.
You know why? Because one, he is, and he's been that way the whole time, for bad and for good. There's a lot of parts that we agree with the populism, right? The nationalism is dangerous, and we love America, but loving America doesn't mean you should be a nationalist. That's a totally different thing.
Yeah, no, it can mean that you're a nationalist, but since you guys want to go through all these words, you don't really fully love America. You don't, because I do love my country in a sense that I want my country to be better, and you can love your country and want to be very realistic about your country. I know how I sound sometimes, but that's because I love my country. Like, come on, when you're raising kids, you don't tell them you love your children, but you don't tell them that everything they do is right. So yeah, I'm a nationalist. That's a fact. I'm a nationalist. I'm a nationalist who wants to do things the right way, and it'll help the rest of the world if I do. Now, coming back to the point, what it just said a bunch of stuff about Bannon that doesn't make sense. He made this joke about Poly Market. You know, it's just a bunch of talking trash. So anyway, the point is that, and then he loves this. Like, look how long they stay on this right wing populist. And this word populist, it's like, bro, like, you know, gosh, he feels like that's what helps the people, talking about populists or whatever. That's a talking point. The fact is, anyway, look, you know, it would be this one from The View who would agree with Steve Bannon. It would have never been Sunny Hostin. Matter of fact, let me find the clip.
Steve Bannon says it is going to hurt for all of us. We all got into this together. You need to give the brakes to the lower and the middle class. Stop slashing and helping the top. They don't need more.
It sounds like Bernie Sanders also.
I know. This is when I Bernie out.
The problem that I have with this is that Elon Musk is an unelected official.
Right.
He is unelected. We did not vote for him. And he's created, Elon Musk, along with the president, a government agency with no congressional oversight.
Okay, so I don't want to stay too stuck on this, but I just wanted to see if she was going to at least say, like, oh, yeah, you see, because the people, you know, or at least give some sort of positive remark, like, well, yeah, because the people, look at Trump's, you know, friend is even calling this out, you know, so there must be something to it. She will not concede anything to a Steve Bannon, because for her, Steve Bannon is like a Confederate flag with legs. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure, because I was like, let me not cast any judgment. Let me just go check, and we checked, and we see. Guess what? Sis is still on. You know, just still talking trash. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.